Hey guys, Renee and Casey here with Bargain and Sister, and we're here to talk to you about cryptocurrency and the safety behind it.
Not necessarily safety, but some of the scams out there. This is gonna be a very different video for us, guys. How long we've been involved in cryptocurrency for about like 10 years, probably, right?
Yeah, we even mined.
Yeah, we used even before, way before that. But yeah, we used to at one time have like 8 Ethereum mining rigs going all through our house.
It was hot.
It was hot, yeah. So then we had them at a different warehouse, and then we had them running at the store. Mm-hmm. We still got one running now at the warehouse here. But look, this video, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this video because I'm just gonna say stuff how it is. And honestly, I don't make my money being a crypto influencer. I don't make my money hyping any coins. So I really don't care. What happened recently, and I told you about this, you know about this, there was that Rugpull, and we had coins in it too. So
he needs to explain what a Rugpull is, just in case our regular audience doesn't know.
Okay, guys, so basically a Rugpull is when they create a coin, they have a wallet with a bunch of coins in them, or they have marketing wallets, or they buy stuff early on too, and they get a bunch of people to hype the coins. They make all these promises, Def say all these things. But then as liquidity builds up in a coin, they sell all the coins at once and they disappear. They take all the money out of the liquid pool. Basically, it's a scam. I mean, there's videos out there you can research more. The point of this video is not about how a rug pull works, but there's plenty of videos on YouTube. But so it happened. So we invested $5,000 in the Suki coin, which was part of the rug pull, and the main coin was Tsiki or something like that. But Suki was supposed to be the in-game currency. And I was in a Twitter chat, and I told people that I had 2,000 in there. I'm being totally transparent now because it is what it is. I'm not upset about the $5,000. The last month we're up like, now crypto went down a bunch again, but we're probably up about 40 grand in crypto coins, and Uniswap coins specifically, and not counting our other investments. And it's a high risk investment. So I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that you should do and that you need to pay attention to. Like I said, people are going to get mad, but I'm just going to share it because there's a lot.
Because we're in the business of making money, so if we can give you guys some tips and tricks on how to make money or protect yourself from losing money, why not?
Well, the problem is there's a lot of hype. And I'm going to be honest, most of the people, actually, let's go back to this. We said we've been in crypto for at least 10 years, right? When did Bitcoin come out? Like 2010? So I probably started looking at Bitcoin in 2012. So what's that, like 10 years now, right?
Almost, yeah. We're at the end of 2021.
Yeah, I remember when Litecoin also became popular. I remember I bought XRP at less than 7 cents. I think for some reason I feel like I bought some at under a penny, but I don't remember. But I definitely bought some at 7 cents. We have a lot of Algorand. Some of our holdings are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Algorand. We had a lot of Saitama. We took the profits. We're going to put money back into that. We had a lot of Sino. We took a lot of profits on that. I'm not sure if I'm going to put money back into that one. I hold Saja.
What about the crypto.com coin we just invested in?
Yeah, so we bought CO. We down a little bit on that, but I like the long-term project because the people are all doxed. It's a real company and they do a lot of marketing behind it. So those are some of the stuff we have. We have other coins too. I mean, we have a lot of coins. I can't even remember everything that we have. And most of our investments is long-term. So this video is specifically about Uniswap coins, which are really early stage coins. And most of the time you buy them in Uniswap. So if you don't know what that is, it's a much more risky investment. It's basically almost like buying IPOs. It's buying like almost like penny stocks right in the beginning. So the first thing you guys need to do, actually let's go back to the scam that happened first.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so they did that rug pull, okay? A lot of people hyped it. We lost $5,000 in the rug pool, but like I said, overall, I look at my overall investment picture, just like buying storage units. I don't look at how one storage unit did. I mean, you always care, but I look, okay, this week I bought 10 units. How did we do? And the overall number matters. As long as we're ahead, that's all that matters, okay? But, so this was, and a guy that was, so there was a guy that was in the Saitama AMA, which Saitama had nothing to do with it. They got a lot of heat for it, but they had nothing to do with that either. And I'm not encouraging or endorsing any kind of coin. And this guy named Jarrod, so he actually went on Saitama AMA. He said initially he invested $200, which I don't believe. He said his coins went up to $500,000. And then when the rug pull happened, he took out $18,000. I really don't believe those numbers, but he did answer a lot of questions that were honest. Man, I just messed up a pen. So, So you got to be really careful in that space. So that guy went on the AMA, which AMA, if you guys don't know, means Ask Me Anything. It's usually done on Telegram, YouTube, things like that. And he said he was one of the developers, which wasn't the case. He was just an oily coin holder full of crap. He said that he played the game, which later on he admitted he never played the game because that's where we bought the in-game currency. Another coin we have is Bisoke, which we're doing really well on. We invested like 600, and last time I checked, it was like 10,000. So that's really good. We're holding that long term because the game won't even come out till next year. So that's just a long term investment for us. And people were really upset, and then he justified everything. He justified it. I went back and looked at some of his messages, and people send me stuff too in Telegram. You know, it's the typical guy, that the hype guy. Oh, I got my Lamborghinis, and your paper hands, and your diamond hands. And just BS, BS, BS. So the first thing that you should do when you get into the space and you look at Uniswap coins, and you read Telegram and Twitter, and what's that one I'm talking about? Oh, Discord. You should also be on Discord. Remember that most of these influencers and YouTube, they're full of crap. Most of the time, these guys, just like Jarrod, they have money invested in the coin. And, you know, they always say, oh, I don't get paid to be in advertising. If you own 5 trillion of a coin and you hype it up like crazy and the price goes up 2, 3, 4, 500%, you are getting paid to advertise because you're part of hyping up the coin. So it's a lot of that space is word games. So Jarrod was full of it, and now he's getting a lot of hate. I think he's getting sued. He put out some information about the thing, and of course, Mr. Hype Man, Mr. Lamborghini Man, Mr. I'm the Big Shot Man, now his latest Twitter thing says, I'm taking a break from social media. After screwing people out of millions and millions of dollars, he needs a break. I think he probably needs a break because he made a lot more than $18,000 on a deal.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, that guy's full of it. He's an idiot, you know. The only mistake he made, and I think he accidentally did it, he doxed himself. So that's my next point. If you guys see a coin, no matter how much they hype it and how much they attack you, and no matter how much what they say, if the developer is Ape Monkey and Super Monkey and Spit Monkey, and a picture of a monkey because it's an NFT and there's no real people behind it, don't invest in that coin. If a developer asks you, hey, put money in my coin, but we're not willing to show our faces or tell you who we are. Imagine this, hey, I'm going to build the biggest lawn chair company in the world. I'm Lawn Chair King. Send me $1 million to finance it, please. Well, who are you? What's your background? I'm Lawn Chair King. It's good. Look, these 10 guys say, these are going to be the greatest lawn chairs. You're not going to do that either, right? So use common sense. Also, remember, Uniswap, very early stages, very easy, not regulated. I can basically put out a crypto token within 2 days. You know, for under $1,000. If I put another $20,000 in marketing, there's a lot of money to be made, right? And then you just gotta see that where there's money, people cheat, people lie. So the first thing when you go to the webpage, look at the developers, see if they have pictures, if there's backgrounds, if you can actually search them. I looked at coins before; they have a picture and they even have names, but then you cannot find nothing about them on the internet. That's a big red flag. You should pay attention to that. So if the developers are hidden, I usually don't invest unless I invest very little. But then when I do invest, sometimes I did the same thing with Sino because that's a coin that's hidden. There's no devs out there. The reason I invested $10,000 because Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys was saying, hey, I'm writing a song for this coin. I think the NFTs are going to be awesome. I'm going to go for it. You know?
So you're a Backstreet Boy fan?
I'm not a Backstreet Boy fan. The reason I invested, so he tweeted about it. He was somehow involved, but he was just hyping it also.
Right.
So I'm sure he had a big stake and he was putting out a song. So I'm thinking, okay, I looked at the coin. The coin was way early still. It had less than 1,000 holders. I put in 10 grand. I'm like, okay, that's going to get social media hype. I put in 10,000. The coin went up to 30 grand. I took out 20,000. So I got my initial investment back, plus I doubled my money. Then the coin went up and down, up and down. And then I took out another 14,000, which, I took out another 14,000 and I left like another 4,000 in. Then it went up some more and then it went way up more, but then it started dying down just when the hype was starting to die down. And I took out like another 7,200 or so. So total on the coin, we made 10, 14, like $32,000 on the coin. And we got our investment back. But that was just not because I believed, because the Def have a good story and everything. I mean, the NFTs were cool. But that's because a big social media influencer was pushing the coin and wasn't early. So that you kind of base your investment on that. Another thing I look for on their website is how they speak their English. like how I speak at English, not so good, my friend.
Are you like, don't go off of Renee's English?
Oh, my English not so good. King of Launchers will sell King Launcher everywhere in Long Beach to Dallas, Texas to Long Beach, California. Oh, I meant Long Island to Dallas, Texas or Long Beach, California. King of Launcher. You send me $1 million now. So if the English is not good, that's a big red flag, because even good companies overseas, doesn't take much to hire somebody to put a basic web page together. You know, people say they got a white paper.
What's a white paper?
Why, they have one. A white paper is basically, guys, where they say, we're gonna do this. My launcher is gonna come in 2 colors, and we're gonna get them in Home Depot. And you know, so same thing. There are white papers are usually 1,000 Telegram users, 1,000 Twitter followers, redesign of the web page, stage 2. My biggest question is, if you start a web page and you have to redesign the web page in stage 2, which stage 2 you should hit within less than 30 days, why design a crappy web page to begin with, right? That was always one of my questions. So anybody can write a white paper. So before you send me money, just basically, hey, send me money. This is what I'm going to do. Stupid, remember? And people say you're gonna miss out on 1,000x coin. By the way, most of these times when these coins say, hey, at 200x or at 50x, it happens sometimes on some coins. A lot of times it's early on and it goes right down. The thing they don't tell you is that they'll have a live release. A lot of times they don't tell people it's a live release, so either you see it through Etherscan with the new pair token, or maybe there's a little bit of talk about, and people will buy right away, just like supposedly Jarrod did. He said he bought in $200 and went up to $500,000, because when a token first starts, and if it's true liquidity, it's super cheap because there's no money in there. So your money goes really high and just skyrockets. So it might be 500 times, you know, within the first hour. But after that, usually it starts sinking, you know, and then it slowly has to build up. So that they don't tell you that the next 1,000x token. So if you're the first buyer, the first 50 buyers, there's chances, but then you have to sell it. And a lot of times, another thing that you're fighting is people that invest money just for those reasons, and then they dump it as soon as it's up 50x, and it's liquidity without destroying the coin. So you got to be really careful how people tell you stuff. When you do this stuff, remember how parents always used to tell us, if it's too good to be true.
Right, then it's not.
But sometimes it happens, like you looked at me and you're like, hey, he's too good to be true. How can I ever get him, right? And bam, what happened? You got me, right?
Woo!
Why is that funny?
Oh, it's not funny. Not funny at all.
Just kidding, too good to be true. But sometimes it happens, you know, but...
Well, Dogecoin, I think, is a good example of that.
Yeah, I mean, Dogecoin went really crazy because of Elon Musk, but Dogecoin still hasn't done anything, or, you know, I mean, they use it for payment services now, but it's a meme coin. There's way better tokens out there, but, you know, the masses do have power, and it happens sometimes, but in general, you know, so every new cryptocurrency that comes out now has a bunch of hype people. Another thing, when people hype it, I look when they created their accounts, you know, oh, November 2021, this is the next thing. So that's somebody that's been on Twitter for like a few days, and now they want to hype it. Also, when it's super hypo or super Yeti coin or super, they have all these things with a meme behind it. You don't know who that person is. I'm looking to get information like, see, we made a lot of money with Sino because the person that was hyping it and was doing something with it was Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. So it's somebody that has some kind of reputation on their real name, on a real life case scenario. And people always say, it's like, oh, well, the, I hate these words because I barely speak English. The animosity.
Animosity. Mm-hmm.
Anonymous?
Animosity.
Animosity.
Very good.
Of cryptocurrency. That's why people don't want to, don't want to use the names and toxing. But you see as many rug pulls and stuff like this. And again, Uniswap trading is super dangerous. There's a big difference between buying and selling Litecoin, Bitcoin, you know, Algorand, which I love a lot, and buying, you know, Yeti token or Sino token, or like even, you know, so one company I really like a lot, that's actually 2 companies I really like a lot. One of them is Saja, which is way early still, and another company I like is Saitama. We have big bags in both companies.
And he's not saying this because anybody's paying him. It's just he's giving you his own personal opinion.
As of making this video, nobody's paying me on anything.
Yeah, nobody's paying him, and he's done countless hours of research, staying up all hours into the night, doing all kinds of research.
And you know what? I'm the first one to tell you, both of these companies are still super high-risk companies because they're brand new. It's no difference in investing in a startup. Remember, Starbucks got rejected by like 130-some companies because it was too high risk. So I see those as my high-risk investments, but I like those. And the big reason I like both of those because the developers are doxxed. So I'm looking for that. Doxxed means we actually know who the people are in real life. So when you make these investments, you know, when people try to tell you, hey, Tatiana, give me $50 and it'll be $8 million tomorrow and you can get a Lamborghini.
Shoot, let me go get my wallet. Or better yet, I'll ask my dad for some money.
Yeah, no.
I love it.
So you have to have realistic investments expectancies. And just remember, most people hyping and influencers, I'm saying it over and over, are full of boo-boo. Doo-doo. Okay, so have realistic investment goals. And another big thing within the space, there's two things called paper hands, which paper hands basically means when you sell your coins, you're not strong enough to be in the family. This is not a gang. This is not a nation. We're here to make money, right? So when there's profits, sell your stuff. And they have another thing they call diamond hands. And they hold forever. They're part of it. They believe in everything. And that's great when you get scenarios like Shiba or Dogecoin where the coin just totally goes through and keeps on going up. But for those two coins, there's hundreds of tokens out there. If you had diamond hands in those tokens, you have nothing. Either from the project just failing naturally, or if the project being a scam, a rug pull, you know. So because you can lose money without it being a scam. Sometimes somebody has a great idea and it just doesn't work out. That's part of business. Anybody who's been in business can tell you that. Mm-hmm. So it's just like a relationship, you know. You go into a great relationship and 6 months later it just didn't work out, you know, and they might still be great people. So it's the same thing. So don't let people bully you into being paper hands or diamond hands. The people that invest all the time and have investments coming over and over and over and over, they take profit. The reason I didn't really care, I mean, I still care. We lost $5,000 on a stupid rug pull, but the reason it doesn't affect me as other people.
Because he's hedging his bets, just like we do with storage buying.
Yeah, diversify. So we took profits on different things and we're diversified. So it's smart to diversify. And like they always say, well, what if your position goes down and it goes crazy? Okay, so maybe I lost some potential profit, but I have a lot of coins. A lot of coins really, really dropped. So I invested in a coin called Monoke Ino, I think that's the one. You guys, who knows the coin knows it. I only put $300 in there because no defs, bad English, crappy website, but people were hyping it a little bit. And I was sure it was a rug pull, so I put like $300, and that thing went up to like $15,000 at one time. Now it's back down to about $1,000. But I think now the Def is actually trying to make something happening. So I have several trillions of that coin. I got in way early. I'm basically leaving that coin to go up to really significant, or goes to nothing. But part of me, if I would have been smart when it was at 15,000, I should have taken out 8,000, let this less out of 7,000 run. So I didn't follow my own policy.
Right, but that's how you live and learn.
Yeah, so take profits. It's not live and learn. I mean, I was like, man, it's really taken off. I'm only
like being an athlete. The more you play around with it, the better you get.
The way I was thinking, I only had $300 in, and it's really taken off. So I don't want to cut it in half now. But I should have. The disciplined investor would have taken profit there. I just let it ride. But I'm not mad about it. Whatever. I hope they take it off. I hope it takes off. I'm not crazy about that project, but let's see where it goes. And I'm being honest, like, you know how many people will hate on me for this video? It's like, oh my god, he speaks his mind. We're at the next point, the hype masses. You never say anything bad. No matter what, you hype. Most hypers are full of shit. They just want to make money, and that's fine. Don't listen to the hype. Do your own research. That's why I was to tell you to do your own research. If people are trying to, they always say, oh, this is not financial advice. And so, by the way, guys, this is not financial advice for legal reasons. But if people want to tell you what they do with their investments and stuff, but they're hiding behind some fake screen name and,
that's a red flag right there.
It's a huge red flag, yeah. So when they tell you put all your money in there, and it's like, and there was also, it's happened so many times in cryptocurrency where all these guys hype, and it goes over a long period of time, and then when the crap goes down, their accounts disappear, and the screen names disappear, everything is gone, you are your money. So don't listen to hype masses. I already talked about this, the data of their Twitter accounts. So see when they open up their Twitter accounts, it helps you a little bit. If somebody's been in the crypto space for 2 or 3 years and they start talking about a new coin, I listen a little bit more because they've been around, that account's been around. I go back down, check the history. If they open up their account yesterday, I pretty much considered fake, and I see it as the same as one person making 200 accounts and just keep on switching and tweeting. Plus you can set up bots for that, which is super easy. I'm not gonna go into that, do your research. As another thing they talk about, people always say, this advice is free, I'm not getting paid. How do you, that's all how you want to twist it. If you own a whole bunch in a wallet and you think you and a bunch of people can hype it, you are getting paid with the profits. Now, you guys know I'm on television. I'm a brand ambassador for americascardroom.com. I'm actually talking to 2 different coins right now. Actually 3, but one of them I'm not going to do. And I'm not going to say who they are because they're nice. They were nice and everything, but I just don't want to have my name associated with it because I totally don't believe in it. Not necessarily because it's a scam, I just don't believe in a project. But I'm talking to 2 other coins as a brand ambassador, and you can bet your butt if I put my name behind something and endorse it and promote it, I'm gonna get paid because your name and your reputation is something. Anybody can make a Twitter name and hype something, but once you put your name behind it. Now guys, in the future, if you ever see me hype a coin or get more involved, I'll tell you, hey, I am getting paid to be a brand ambassador because I'm a public person. That's what I get paid for. And number 2, I will never ever hype a coin unless I know for sure who the developers are. And when I say I will know who developers are, first and last name and what company they work for in real life. So if they ever pull a rug pull or do some scammy thing, I'd be like, oh, these are the guys who did it. You know, make it very simple. If a project fails just because the project failed, that's just business. So that happens every day in business. People invest in the companies go under. So, but I'll be transparent. If I get paid, I get paid. And most of these guys, by the way, that have YouTube channels, they constantly do other coins, they are getting paid. They just don't admit it. So if somebody pumps a different coin every day, you know they're receiving some coins for it. They're just not honorable enough to say, hey, I'm getting paid. You should get paid for advertising. If you build up a viewership, if you build up a name, you should get paid because that's how most of the world works. Yeah, so I covered that, right? We're pretty good with that. So because if I want to talk about something, I can just invest. So once I get involved and have to answer all the questions, especially where there's so much fake hate with the hype, there's people that just attack you on Twitter with all these fake names, you know, you should get paid for that. User numbers, guys, not a big red flag for me when I invest in a coin. So let's say I go into coin, they have 6,000 Telegram users. Now all just chatting, and Telegram is usually just a hype fest anyway. It's very childish. I always feel most coins when I'm in Telegram, I'm talking to a bunch of 16-year-olds that want to be the next billionaire, but I really have no experience. So, but if they have 6,000 user members in Telegram, but then you check DEX tools and they only have 700 people holding it, that's not a good sign. That's even more that they are fake. Next thing, so use tools like Etherscan and DEX tools. Etherscan, you can actually go in a coin, see how many holders it has. You can see the addresses, you can see the percentages, which different addresses have what percentage of a coin. Later, you also want to research, is there a marketing wallet out there? They usually should tell you that stuff on the website. Is there a dead wallet out there, which means every transactions on reflection coins, they send it to that dead wallet, those coins are dead, so they're taken out of circulation. Those terms I'm using, just do some basic research. Etherscan will give you all the information if you do a little bit of work. DEX tools will also tell you the history. Like today, there's a coin out there, Yeti coin, and people started hyping it, they've been hyping it. And one person is super nice I've been talking to also, so they're probably gonna get mad at me, but I really don't care, say what it is. And they're like, oh my god, Yeti coin is taking off. What?
2 minutes or 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay, let me finish the sentence real quick and then we'll stop it and we'll restart it. So they saying Yeti coin is taking off. It's about time it's finally taken off. Yeah, it went up like 4% today. What they haven't told you, from the high when they first boost came, since then it's down like 400 or 500%. It just, and you know, if you look at the charts, go to DEX tool, look at the history. So what they do is like, oh, a little bit up, hype, and then they're gonna drop it again. So do your own research, learn how to use tools like DEX tools, Etherscan, do your research, because no matter how much research you do, you know, especially in the Uniswap space, there's still, you do all the research, it feels good, and you're still gonna run into bad stuff. Okay, another thing you want to pay attention, find out if the devs have wallets, and that's a good way to look at. That was another token. I was talking to one of the guys that was one of the founders that were trying to push me. He was trying to get me to invest like $30,000, which thank God I didn't, because on launch day, like all this stuff went really bad. I know a bunch of people that lost money. Some of them got some token back, percentages, but it's just going down. Same thing, it launched, it went way high, and since then it's just been dropping. I'm not gonna say what the coin is, but I think it's not a good coin. And I wouldn't invest in no matter what. But one of the things they did, they advertised it as a fair market launch, which means that all the tokens supposedly that are going to come alive are supposed to go to the public. Whoever buys them first gets them. So if you get lucky and you go through Uniswap and you one of the very first transactions, $500 might get you 500 trillion coins, where the next guy might get 400, and just as it goes down, 2-3 hours later, $500 might get you 1 billion coins or 500 billion coins. Obviously, with the price, the money really goes up, right? But then the day before, what they did, they launched a token and they gave like 60% of the coins to the developers. It was 40.
Suspicious, right there.
It was 40 or 60%, yeah, and like a bunch of people found it. And they put it out on Twitter. They denied it. They didn't address it. But I mean, through EtherScan tool, you could already see it that they launched a contract. And as soon as I saw that, I was gonna put money in it. I never put money in. Never will put money in that thing. Also, that particular token, no utility. The whole thing was we're gonna give away a car. And we're going to make NFT in games. Everybody's making NFT in games, but nobody really says anything. Their thing was biggest coin ever, hype 1000x, but no substance behind it. That's like me saying, it's like, hey guys, put $1 million into it because I'm going to be the best running back in NFL. I'm going to go fastest guy. Every run is going to be 80 yards or more. It's just hype. They just, basically, they're building that whole token on hype. And that token's been out now for, I don't want to sound wrong, I think like 15 or 16 days. And if you watch their message, it's still the same hype. 1000x token, did this, did that, great this, but a lot of people unhappy. They also block a lot of people in a Telegram if you ask the wrong questions. They don't want you to ask any questions. Telegram hype, be really careful. Telegram and Discord, it's really easy for people to block people that disagree or have questions. I use more research on Twitter, and then I just go with the cash sign and the name of the token, because then I can see different people's opinion. And you gotta be honest. That's gonna be kind of the truth, and there's gonna be a lot of the people hyping it, and then there's also gonna be a lot of the people trying to talk it down. So you kind of gotta find the medium and make your own understanding if a token is good or not. But in Twitter, it's harder for other people to block each other. Or talk. Like, I can talk about any token, they can't block me. Also I've seen people trying to threaten lawsuits and things like this. I'm like, you're not even doxxed, dude. It's like, go ahead, sue me. Put your name behind it. It'll be interesting. Another thing I look for, sorry, I'm talking more about this because I'm very passionate about this. Casey knows a lot about it too, but I'm just talking about it a little bit more. Another thing that I look for in tokens, especially if the token's been around for a while, what exchanges trade the tokens. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the exchanges you really want to seem like your grade A exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, Robinhood eventually, but Robinhood is still different. What's the other one? KuCoin is a good one. So if it's on Binance and Coinbase, I like it a lot. But then you're going away from the Uniswap. Just because people advertise Bitmart or LBank I guess is a little bit better. There's a bunch of different exchanges that are in different countries that are subject to complete different rules where I don't put as much value on them. So you got to be careful with that. See what tokens exchanges are traded at. But if you deal in the very, very early Uniswap coins, they're usually not on exchanges. But as tokens grow, you can see what exchanges they go on to and how they're doing. We talked about EtherScan. We talked about DEX tools. Another thing, so we kind of talked about this already. Who are the influencers that are pushing the tokens? Is it just some screen name, some meme name, or is it somebody you actually know? Tokens always get my attention if the person talking about the token or pushes the token has a verified check mark, a blue mark, because now I know it's a lot harder. That account has been around, they have a following. Now, it still could be a bad token. Business like Rugpull, it happens, okay? But at least it helps you with initial chances. If it's being pushed by Shiba Puppy or Elon Car or Elon Rocket, I put very little value in the hype. Another thing to look for is Certec, and there's a couple different audits out there. See if the code has been audited. the big thing where I didn't pay attention, I put the money in Suki, which the other coin was audited, but Suki wasn't audited. But I thought it was just the end game thing. I didn't do enough research, honestly. So that coin was totally not audited, and that's why the developer was able to drop it so much. We talked about Telegraph and Discord and how they're scary because they can block a lot of people. And always, go into most of these Telegraph, and she was actually really bad because a lot of young people, if you say anything negative or ask any questions what could even imply negativity, you get all these people attacking you. So then understand the group that you're in. You're not in a group of investors that want to ask questions. You're in a group of people that just want to hype. And that's okay. If you feel that the hype is strong enough that it's going to go up, invest and take your profit. But if it's just hype and we all play musical chairs and we'll see whoever's left holding the bag, that's not a good thing. And I'm trying to find a little bit more mature. I want to find devs that go on YouTube. They talk about stuff and they set their goals. And you got to be realistic. Our goal might be 6 months away. One of the coins I told you I like is Passante. They've been developing their game, I believe, since at least May of last year. It might even be longer. And I don't expect it to be done till next year. But they have a lot of videos, a lot of influence, a lot of people actually playing the game, and you constantly can see it grow. I think that's a good investment. The only thing I miss out of that is I wish I would have put a lot more money in initially, but I have such high gains now. I don't know if I want to put in more money or not, so... But that's just my own math. It's stupid. But if I were smart, I probably did. But you never know, nothing for sure. Also, remember, guys, in crypto, anything is possible. It's ups and downs. You haven't lost any money until you sell. Just because a project goes down and you still believe in it, just hold. And you haven't made any money until you actually sell too. Just because you invested, just like I said in Passante, I invested 600. It's like 10, 11,000. I haven't made anything. I'm down 600 of my cash right now. So you haven't made any money or lost any money until you sell. Look at the holders, how many people are holding. We talked about that. Another thing what I don't like is, especially with a lot of the Eno coins, when they just steal copyright stuff. A coin, I have a little bit of a coin, the second Rick and Morty coin, Wolverine coin, I don't have any. But when they just flat out steal something that's obviously copyrighted, if the coin ever makes it big, they can't go with that because there's going to be lawsuits if they're docs developers. So they either completely stay in the shadows, or what they say is like, well, we're just going to deal with it later. The companies will just come around because we're already successful. It's like, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work that way.
And it also shows the mentality. They obviously do not care about somebody else's copyright. They do not care about somebody else's intellectual property. But those things are, to me, red flags. So I talked a lot about coins here. I talked a lot about the stuff. My goal is not to influence you either way. My goal is just to maybe make you think a little bit. Put realistic investment expectations. Do your research. Realize when you invest, no matter what these fools tell you, okay? When you invest in Uniswap coins, it's a super high risk investment. You need to realize, as soon as you say, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not nothing is guaranteed, okay, guys? They tell you guaranteed 500, guaranteed 1,000, guaranteed to triple. It's going crazy. That is all BS, guys. It's all BS. So realize that doesn't mean you can't make money. We make a lot of money with Uniswap coins. We buy and sell them all the time. We also hold a lot of coins long term. Usually safer coins, but there's some projects that we have long term. I hope that helps you guys a little bit. If you lost money in a rug pull, I'm sorry. If you put all your money in one coin hoping to get rich, know what you're doing. Don't blame anybody but besides yourself at this point. Be true to yourself, because remember, investing is all about diversification, no matter what sort of investment you do. Never invest money, obviously, you can't afford to lose, because especially this is like the wild, wild west of investing, to be honest. But with that being said, it's super exciting. It's fun. Like I said, we have coins like Passante. We made a lot of money in Saitama. Our original investment in Saitama was $10,000. We're holding tokens now, and we're up, like, cashed out our $10,000 plus, like, roughly $32,000. And people say, well, I'm up millions. You're a bad investor. I'm like, I came in way late. We didn't buy our very first Saitama until, I don't know the exact date, but so it was at 1800. With the series, it says now at 1800. And I buy and sell it all the time. And also just, people say, well, you're not diamond hands. You don't believe in a project. You buy and sell. I talked with Russell several times. through text messages on the phone. We're going to get together. And he said, brother, there is nothing wrong with taking profit. The one thing he said to me, like at one point, like a big whale was dumping a lot of coins early on. He wasn't crazy about that. But if you're a regular investor, there's nothing wrong with taking profits. And he told me he takes profits on coins all the time. That's just being a smart investor. I still like Saitama. Like I said, I like Basoka. I like Saitama. I like Saja. So those are coins we have long term in that space right now. We'll see what happens with that. They all could go to nothing. They could go to a lot. But overall, we're smart investors. You need to be a smart investor. We diversify our stuff. We took profits. Also, when you take profits, now you look at your wallets and stuff like this, you're writing for free. That's a pretty awesome feeling. Still sucks when you lose it, but it's okay. We took profits on Algorand, rebought it several times. Bitcoin is probably one coin we never really take profits on, because our philosophy is once we put it in Bitcoin, it's going to sit there for retirement. So we don't really buy or sell Bitcoin. Whatever it is, Bitcoin just seems to be going up. And who knows, maybe it's stupid. Maybe one day it goes to nothing. That's part of investment. But when all these people try to tell you guys, that's the most important thing in the video. When all these people try to tell you there's no risk and it's guaranteed winning, they're full of crap. Do not listen to these influencers. And if you do have influence, ask them questions. And just because your influencer makes some money on the coin or gets paid, there's nothing wrong with it. When they try to tell you all these lies, something wrong with it. And try to listen to influencers that actually put their name behind it. One guy I watch sometimes, and he has his name behind it, is Max Mahler, I think is his name. But he has his face, he has his name. I listen to what he says. There's a couple of the real estate guys that went over to cryptocurrency, but they all put their face and name behind it. So I listen more to what they say. I don't listen to guys that are like Crypto Bio 101 or... I want to listen to guys that actually put their money behind it. And a lot of these guys will be honest, like, hey, yeah, I'm getting paid to be a brand ambassador. There's nothing wrong with that. So anyway, I hope this video helped you guys. I'm not planning on doing too many crypto videos.
Let us know if you like this and if you want any more videos like this.
I don't want to do any more. It's such a space where there's so many, you get all the fake accounts attacking you with hate.
Well, and maybe it put a thought to maybe invest yourself in a little bit.
And crypto for the new people?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you do your very first crypto investments.
The cool thing is that young people can do it. You can do it with $20. You can do it with $100. That's what's kind of exciting about it, right?
So,
you'd be intimidated to go to the stock market. Like, I only have $20.
Well, that's a wrong attitude. I'm sorry, I have to disagree with you.
Okay.
Whenever you invest, that's a good thing. Yes, you can invest with 20, with $100, but not really in Uniswap coins, because right now the Ether gas fees are so high, which is what you pay for every transaction. Yeah. But I tell young people all the time, it's like, dude, just every week buy $20 worth of Bitcoin through your Coinbase account. Do that, you'll thank me in 20 years. Mm-hmm. Or other coins that you believe in. If you invest a little bit and you don't want to do as much research, honestly, I wouldn't recommend investing in Uniswap coins, because like I said, they're high risk, they take a lot of research, and you can also lose everything. Unless you're willing to say, hey, I'm going to take $500, pay the gas fees, try to get them when they low and buy this coin, but in my mind, I'm totally expecting this coin to go to nothing. And if it does something, it does something. I understand it's a high-risk investment. If you don't want to do that type of stuff, you just want to do safe long-term, especially if you're young, I recommend you buy Bitcoin, Litecoin. Personally, I like XRP also. Love Algorand. Decentraland. I never bought any of it. I wish I would have bought it. My friend Cavin told me to buy a bunch at 60 cents. It's like at $5 now because of the metaverse thing. So we'll see. I mean, it's a lot of early spaces. So you do your research. But if you don't want to do that much research, go with stuff that's just listed on Coinbase. That's like using a PayPal account, basically. It's super easy. There's apps out there, Crypto.com. I like that app. Coinbase has a wallet on it. They all make it super easy. Saitama is going to put out Saitama Mask, which is going to make it a little bit easier to invest in some Uniswap coins. But again, those coins, because they're going to be really vetted, they're already going to be in an advanced stage. There's so many videos out there you guys can learn. That you never go wrong with investments, but be realistic, guys. An investment is a risk. Mm-hmm. It is a risk. Put your money in the safe in the bank. You know you're going to lose at least 2% a year on inflation, and that's fine. You know it too. With investments, you take a risk, but there's a chance to lose everything. So,
all right, like and subscribe.
Take care.